In a couple moments with the podcast, and of course we're going to talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene betrayal. Now, as always, those of you that are regulars know this, but if you're new, I'm going to be playing a lot of audio and video and showing some articles and things. So to see and hear all the audio and video that I share, you have to go to my main stream, which I am about to link in the description. And then we'll get started with the podcast. We got so much to cover today. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Mamdani at the White House. So much to cover. I tell you, I don't know how Trump keeps up with all these lowlifes he's got to deal with. Right? And I'll be taking your calls too. Okay, the link to the main stream, which I'm going to start in a moment, is in the description. And the toll-free number is also pinned in the description. All right. Let's go. It's showtime. All right, again, if you're watching here with the green wall behind me, to see and hear all the audio and video that I'm going to share, you have to go to my main stream, which is pinned. There's a link in the description that'll take you directly to the main stream, which I'm about to start right now. Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh man, has so much happened, right? We got a lot to cover. Of course, we're going to talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene betrayal, Mamdani's visit to the president at the White House yesterday, and a whole bunch more. But we're going to start with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this, when the announcement came out yesterday that she's resigning from Congress, it came out in two beats. Things came across social media before I had a chance to watch the video. The first was she's not running for re-election. And then like seconds later, the rest of it dropped that Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning from Congress. Now, of course, she's resigning from Congress 2 days after her pension kicks in. She wants to have her congressional pension and benefits, which I'm not so sure why she's so concerned with that, since she's made tens of millions of dollars while she's been in Congress. She's made $25 million, it was reported, just in the last 4 or 5 years with some of these stock deals she's made. So I don't know why. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. The salary itself, because of the short time she's been in Congress, is not big money for her by her standards, but maybe there's some other benefits. I don't know. But she's gone, she's resigned, and I guess she's abandoned the Epstein victims that she's been surrounding herself with, huh? You know, and I knew something was up. I didn't think this was up. But when President Trump had his Oval Office press conference with Mamdani yesterday, Brian Glenn wasn't there. And I'd been saying we're going to get a good tell on how angry the president is based on Brian Glenn's role in the Oval Office, meaning, you know, in these past press conferences in the second term in the Oval Office, Brian Glenn has been taking the lead, right, with the president and other members of the cabinet, as well as the vice president, and he wasn't there yesterday. And then I saw on X a selfie that Brian Glenn took with a fan on an airplane. Him and MTG were flying, I guess, back to Georgia for her to do this video. So we'll talk about all of this and take your calls. I very much want to hear your thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene and what went down. Now, what I'm going to do here in the beginning is go through her farewell video, and I got to tell you, Marjorie Trader Green is pretty full of herself, isn't she? Oh man, is she full of herself? She thinks she's equal to or greater than President Trump in the MAGA movement. You know, some of these very full of themselves people will tell you that Trump's not MAGA. No, Trump is MAGA. He's founder of the movement. It's his movement, and President Trump and the Trump family are the leaders of MAGA. No one else. And if you're not with Trump, you are not MAGA. Marjorie Trader Green stopped being MAGA last week when the president excommunicated her. Now, I want to say this as well. And if you're on hold, stand by. We'll get to the phones in a bit. The thing with Marjorie Trader Green here, this is really an amazing thing that's happened. And then I'm going to get into the video, and then we'll take calls. They're trying to get this narrative going that MAGA's divided, that President Trump's weak, that the movement's been weakened and all of this. President Trump excommunicated her from the MAGA movement a week ago, and a week later, a sitting member of the United States House of Representatives has just resigned from Congress. That sounds like President Trump's got a lot of juice, doesn't it? This is absolutely amazing. So let's get to this. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's video, and I must say, and maybe you've had a different reaction to this. This smiling thing that she's doing in the beginning, I'm going to call total BS on that. She's not happy. I don't care what book deal she's got. I don't care if she's got a deal on The View, if she's a CNN or MS Now pundit coming soon and all that stuff. She's not happy. She's not happy. She may find, she's kind of become, if she makes her way to television punditry, what she'll be is the new Joe Scarborough kind of type. But she's, but Marjorie Taylor Greene does not understand, I really don't think she understands this, that she's been on President Trump's coattails. We've loved her in the past, not now. We've loved her in the past because she was such a strong supporter of President Trump. We didn't care about her on her own too much at all. And what she does in the future, we're going to find out soon because things are going to start to come out. But I don't buy this happy act that she's doing because she has alienated her entire base of support. In fact, Loomer was talking last night on X that the poll showed that Marjorie Taylor Greene was going to lose her primary. And that's because President Trump excommunicated her from the MAGA movement. The poll showed that she was going to lose her primary. So now why she resigns before her term is up, that's hard to say for sure right now. But my guess would be that she's got some deals going on, whether it's book deals, television deals, or something. And it's easier for her to make deals now than at the end of her term because there's a high likelihood, because she's going to be out in the beginning of January, she's going to spend all next year on television shows and podcasts trashing Trump and the MAGA movement, doing everything she can do to cost us the midterm elections. So she's got to get out early to do that, and she's getting out 2 days after her congressional pension kicks in. All right, so let's get to this, and if you'd like to call in, your thoughts are certainly welcome. If you're watching live on YouTube, the number is toll-free no matter where you're calling from, and it's 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And here we go. Here's Marjorie Trader Greene in her farewell address last night in front of the Christmas tree. Was Brian Glenn filming this for her? No. Not anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this Common Man Act that she's pulling, before all these deals in Congress, she was worth $10 million. She's made $25 million in the last 4 or 5 years through Paul Pelosi-like stock deals in Congress, all right? So this thing that she's representative of the common man, that doesn't fly anymore, Marjorie Trader Green. I'm sorry to tell you. Okay, now notice, a couple weeks ago she was on TV talking about how her children couldn't afford the basics like health insurance. Now it's her children's generation because a lot of people like me have been pointing out, well, wait a minute, you're worth like $30 million or more. Why are your children struggling? So now she's saying my children's generation, right? Well, this two-parent household to support a family, it has sadly been that way since the 70s, really the 80s. Okay, this is not new, but here we're getting the beginnings of her blaming President Trump for all the problems on the planet, as opposed to the person who's actually solving them. Mm. But she did make millions of dollars through our tax dollars by buying stock in a company that did business with Homeland Security. Okay, so she won't spend your hard-earned tax dollars anywhere except to enrich her stock portfolio. This is a bunch of nonsense from her. Okay, she's trashing Trump here, and by the way, she's claiming that she's leaving not because she's got some big book deal or some TV deal lined up, or that President Trump excommunicated her from the MAGA movement, or according to Laura Loomer, the latest polls in her district shows that she will be primaried out by the president, that she cannot win the primary in her own district. She's got all these holier-than-thou positions that are just gathering dust on a desk. She was going to change the world and Trump won't let me do it, so I'm out of here. She's full of it. See, hear that? She just called us a cult. She doesn't have the balls. Well, I know she doesn't have those, but I'm talking figuratively. She doesn't have the figuratively, speaking, of course, the balls to say what she's really saying, right? She's dancing all around it, right? She just called MAGA a cult. Those of us who are supporting our president, she's calling us a cult. Mm. But the ones that were going to primary her out in her own district, yeah. Mm. Oh. Wow, she's such a heroine here, right? Yeah, she'll probably be the next in-studio guest on the Candace Owens podcast. Okay, now this is one of the things. Everything about her pisses me off right now. I mean, this is a major betrayal because all of us in the MAGA movement have stood by her. I've got her autographed book somewhere in a closet. And I know all the MAGA people. We used to love her and support her. She has betrayed us. This is like, you're finding your wife in bed with another man, right? In this instance, it's $25 million, not a man, but you know what I mean. It's that level of betrayal, isn't it? Okay, now nothing here. All this family woman stuff. Do good wholesome women concerned with their family cheat on their husband and leave their husband for a married man and get that married man to leave his wife? This wholesome family act? I'm not buying it, Marjorie Trader Green. Oh. threatened. He's threatened her, she says. This is how many times has she claimed that he has threatened her? Ooh. Yes. She didn't say wealth. Oh. Oh. Wow. I refuse to be a battered wife. So she's comparing President Trump, who's been shot, arrested, they tried to put him in jail, they broke into his house, they did all these things. He's the bad guy. He's an abusive husband who beats up his wife. I wonder how long she's really felt this way. What do you guys think? How long has Marjorie Taylor Greene really felt this way about our great president? Mm. Mm. Oh. What is that? The studio at CNN or MS Now? What is she talking about? Where are these people that she loves? It can't be the people in her district where she couldn't win the primary. You were going to primary her out. Mm. Yep. Yes. All right. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. I want to hear your thoughts on this. The number is toll free, 888-465-2631. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for the Brian Craig Show, and I'll pop right up. If you want to catch the show live in video form, that's on YouTube and YouTube Music. Just search for the Brian Craig Show on YouTube or YouTube Music, and subscribe there. You can catch the show live and even call in. All right, the number is toll free, and it's pinned in the live chat. Those of you watching live, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right. You missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning.
Yes. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me do this. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. I'm going to have to take a break because I didn't connect the phone. That's okay. We'll take our break. We'll come back, and we'll get right to the calls, all right? It's the Brian Craig Show. Back after this. You there?
We'll get right to the calls.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, hold on. Got it. All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast. To our phones we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're up. Once, twice. All right, you're out of there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Chris. How you doing?
All right, Chris.
Oh, that's good. Just seeing what's going on and what's up today.
Well, you're calling me, so.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry, give me a second here.
No, your time is up. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, Rich.
You know, I listened to that speechless and I watched her and all I could think about was she must have been listening to Mendani's a whole campaign to trash. First of all, let's get this straight, everybody. This is not a Republican health crisis. This is a crisis that's been brought on by the Democrats from the health care that they destroyed. This is their baby. This is their package. They're going to try to put she's another one. Try to put the blame on both parties. No, it's not both parties, Marjorie. It's the Democratic Party that.
Well, what do you think? What do you think's really driving this? Her leaving.
You want to know what's driving it? She knows she can't win.
That's right.
She knows she's going to get on every left-wing talk show in the United States on network television. She's going to probably get a lucrative contract. And if you think that the money she made while she's been there, she's going to make a lot more on television.
Absolutely.
Trashing Trump, trashing the Republican Party, trashing the Johnson. Listen,
absolutely.
We had nothing to do with getting back in. We had nothing to do with getting back in power. Getting back during that shutdown.
Yeah.
To discuss how we're gonna try to fix a healthcare problem that's totally Democratic problem that has nothing to do with the Republicans.
Listen, they know this is what they know. Okay, we know her resignation is 2 days after she gets her pension. Okay, with whatever benefits there are. The yearly income on that is between $35,000 and $40,000 for 5 years, but who knows what other benefits come with that we don't know about. They probably get money for an office and health care. Who knows, right? But there's got to be some benefits to get the pension that she wants, more than the 40 grand, since she's worth about 30 million. There's something to that, but she knows, yeah, probably the health insurance. She wants to live off what she wants to do is live off the taxpayers for the rest of their lives while she's betrayed and been lying to us to keep that seat in Congress. And then she's going to, after she's got it locked up, she's turning herself into a welfare queen of sorts. And she's going to spend the rest of her life trying to defeat MAGA Republicans forever. Presidents, everybody.
She blames everything on both parties, and she comes across as, can't we all get along?
Yeah.
That reminds me of the what's his name, King out in California, the guy that got killed.
Rodney King.
They got beat up.
Rodney King.
Yeah, Rodney King. Can't we all get along? All of a sudden, Marjorie, the most divisive right-wing person with the biggest mouth against Democrats, now can't we all get along? What a 360. She's a phony. And anybody, I'm say this to anyone, I know people are not going to like what I'm going to hear. Any gym rat that sits there looking at their muscles, whether it be a man or a woman, has got a major ego problem. They sit there and have mirrors in. If you ever gone to a gym, there's mirrors everywhere, so you can look at yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest. I had a friend.
I wonder what's gonna happen to her boyfriend, fellow adulterer Brian Glenn. Is he going to lose his job now because is Trump going to freeze him out? He wasn't at the press conference with Mamdani yesterday. He was with her and flying to Georgia.
Yeah, she's really a trailer park chick. It sounds like it.
Yeah. All right, Richie. I'm gonna move on, but I appreciate the call. I agree with everything you said. She's gotten by on Trump's coattails. Now she's on her own. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Charles.
Yeah, what do you have on your mind?
Yeah, just talking about what's going on with the rise of inflation, the grocery
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me answer these other lines coming in.
Going up.
Yeah, okay. No, things are going down. Prices are going down.
They are?
Yes.
Have you been to the store lately, sir?
Yes, yeah, they're going down, sir. Not going up.
I haven't noticed that because I've seen bills gone up.
Okay.
And I'm paying $3.19 a gallon for gas.
Well, I don't know.
Going down.
I'm paying under $3 a gallon.
Where are you paying under $3 a gallon at?
I'm in Florida. Where are you calling
So
from?
am I.
Okay, well, local gas stations.
I'm calling from Southeast Florida.
Southeast Florida? Where at in Southeast Florida?
Hope Sound.
Hope Sound. I have never heard. It's called South Florida, and those of us in South Florida, I've never heard anyone call it. What did you say? I'm calling from Southeast Florida. We all say South Florida. Nobody says Southeast Florida.
Okay.
We say South
So
Florida.
you're on the Atlantic side. Are you on the Gulf side or are you on the Atlantic side?
when we in Florida, when we talk about Florida, okay?
Okay.
When we say in Florida, when we say
Florida.
people say two things when it comes to those. If you're on the east coast of Florida, you don't say I'm on the southeast, you say I'm in South Florida. If you're on the Gulf of America coast, you say you're on the west coast.
Well, first off, we say Gulf of Mexico because it's not
Gulf of Mexico? Come on.
Been Gulf of Mexico since day one.
No, it's the Gulf of America.
I don't know who told you that, sir.
The President of the United States.
The President of the United States means nothing to anybody, sir.
Not to you.
He's
all right,
nobody.
okay. And, you know, and I'll tell you, anyone who's a Floridian, the East Coast, the Southeast, nobody says that. In fact, I see them blow that in movies a lot. They'll say Southeast Florida. It's South Florida. If you're on the East Coast of Southern Florida, you're in South Florida. If you're in the southern part of Florida on the Gulf Coast, you're on the West Coast. That's how we say it. People give themselves away all the time. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Vladik from Sarasota, Florida.
Hey, what's up, Sarasota? On the West Coast. Calling me from the Gulf, the West Coast along the Gulf of America. Oh my goodness.
Gulf of America.
That's right.
Hey, I just want to say congrats, first of all, on your 100,000 subscribers. I've been listening to you since you had I think 45,000. So
oh, great!
I just want to say congrats, first of all.
Yeah, when I started YouTube, I had I started a YouTube channel. Didn't use it. I had 248 subscribers when I first started doing YouTube. Now I got 120,000. So thanks to you guys. That's all you. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, you work hard. I see you working every day. So
that's right.
Hey, I want to ask you, how did you think that meeting went with Trump and Mamdani yesterday?
It was beautiful.
Do you think he was a little soft on him? Or do you think he,
no. What President Trump did was amazing. He totally he did more damage to Mamdani. You ever heard that thought, kill him with kindness? He did so much damage to Zohan Mamdani yesterday. Well, first of all, his followers, now he's got Trump's approval. Do you really think his lunatic followers want him being friends with President Trump?
Right.
You know? So, I mean, he blew his credibility with his followers in New York. It was a beautiful thing. He didn't even give him a chair to sit down in either, by the way. Did you notice that? No, President Trump manipulated that situation like a maestro.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't notice that, actually. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I think he didn't play into the media. I think they were like, wow, why is he being so nice to him? And, see, he didn't give him what they want, basically.
That's right. He didn't give him what he wanted. And Mamdani, I watched that press conference. He has a very limited vocabulary. He said the same thing over and over. We talked about equity and affordability. He said that in 4 or 5 different ways, and that's all. We agree about affordability, and we had some important discussions about affordability. He said the same thing, like every answer. He looked like an idiot, Mamdani.
I mean, what do you expect from communists?
Well, a communist who's a multimillionaire, whose parents are millionaires, whose wife and her family are millionaires. That's what a commie that is.
Yeah.
He's richer than he's got more money than Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right, man. Yeah. Take care. Appreciate the call. All right. Okay. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
It's sad to say, but I was fooled by her.
Oh, we all were. We all were.
I mean, remember, she was the one that held up her phone and had DJT on it during the speaker fight.
That's right. DT. It said did it say DJT or DT? Might have said DT.
I think it was DT.
Anybody remember? Yeah, did it say DT or DJT?
I think it was either or, but she had that on her phone, and she pulled Matt Gaetz away from the fight and said, "Look, it's done. This guy's going to be the thing. You know, he's going to be the speaker."
Look, President Trump threw her out of the MAGA movement Saturday last week, and by Friday she's resigned from Congress. But what an influence President Trump has. What a powerful force he is.
Yeah,
none of this lame duck talk anymore.
No, he's this guy. He's the guy. He still has a great amount of pull. I mean, we saw it all over the years where the guys he would get behind, he would endorse, usually win.
That's right.
This guy Collins that's running for Senate, the U.S. Senate, that's the seat. That's one of the seats she wanted, right?
Yeah.
Was to be the next U.S. Senator. He looks like he might very well win this seat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's enough. Once you lose Trump, you've lost.
Yeah, she's done. She's done. All right, appreciate the call, Mike. If you're on hold, stand by. The number to call is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Wayne, calling from Punta Gorda, Florida.
Hey, Wayne, what's on your mind?
I think you got this one wrong, Brian.
Which one?
I think this is strategic. Marjorie Taylor Greene, her reason for leaving the Senate.
Okay, the House.
The House, yes.
Oh, what do I have wrong?
Well, her term will end on January 5th, and I think she's going to run for governor for Georgia, and she has to March 6th to...
Why would she resign? Why would she resign from Congress to do that? You can run for office while you're in Congress. People do it all the time.
Well, yeah, but she's only representing District 14.
First off, her term is up a year. She's resigning a year early. She's halfway into her term. She's resigning. Her term isn't up in January. It's up a year from January.
That's why she's resigning, so that she can.
No, like someone. I give you an example. Joe Lieberman, right? Remember him? He was a senator. Where was he from? Was he from Delaware? What state was Lieberman from? I can't remember offhand. But anyway, he ran for vice president with Al Gore while he was running for the Senate. He won his Senate race during the Florida recount. He had won his Senate race. No, that's crazy talk. What you're saying.
Well, we'll see. I think you're wrong on it.
I think you're in denial. You still want to support her after she betrayed the president?
I don't see that she did betray the president.
He said she did. He called her a traitor and changed her name to Marjorie Trader Greene. The president says that he betrayed her, that she betrayed him.
Well, we'll see how quickly he flips and supports her when she starts running for a
He told her when he called her a traitor. It was either Friday or Saturday. It was last weekend, right? When he called her a traitor, he said she's upset with me because she asked for me to support her run for the Senate or governor of Georgia, and I sent her the polls, and she couldn't win, so I didn't support her. So the president has said the opposite of what you're saying.
That doesn't mean she's not going to run for.
Okay.
She's going to go in on.
Well, she's going to lose. All right. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take a quick break. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. Don't go anywhere. if you're watching with the green wall behind me, if you go to my main video, you can see and hear all the audio and video that I share. The direct link is in the description. If you want to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. It's toll free. All right, we're back. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig. Make sure you follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. If you want to catch the program live in video form, go to YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. And those of you watching live on YouTube, you are all welcome to call in. We've got two things on the table: the betrayal of Marjorie Taylor Greene, of the entire MAGA movement, and the president, of course, and this incredible handling that President Trump did in his humiliation of Mom Donnie yesterday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Audacity, San Diego, California.
All right. What's on your mind, California? Speak up.
So I hear you say we shouldn't listen to Mom Donnie for a lot of reasons. One of them being he's never had a real job.
Correct.
And I always just think that's funny. As a machinist apprentice, I've been in the trade for a few years now. When was your last real job?
I've been a broadcaster since I was 18 or 19 years old. I'm a professional broadcaster.
When was the last time you had tools in your hand, you know?
The last time I had tools in my hand? Actually, since you asked, yesterday, I was doing a little work on my car. I added some oil, some antifreeze, and was doing some work to the back seat because the lever to put the back seat down on my old car is busted, and I was working on that, since you asked.
So your work experience kind of sounds similar to Mom Donnie.
No, I have over 35 years of experience as a professional broadcaster, and have a lot of very technical skills that I work with, as well as business skills on top of my overwhelming talent as a broadcaster. Like, as an example, all the commercials you hear, I write and produce and edit all of those commercials. There's a whole business end to the radio show and the podcast and my YouTube channel. The thumbnail that you see on YouTube, I design and create that thumbnail, which takes some artistic and technical abilities. There's a lot that goes into this. I'm sorry that I'm not a machinist working on the line.
He has a great acting reel. He's an accomplished actor.
What?
And co-producer as well.
Who's an actor?
Mom Donnie.
No, Mom Donnie is a spoiled baby whose millionaire mommy and daddy have paved his whole way in life.
It sounds like some resentment to his parents. Were your parents not rich growing up?
No, my parents were not wealthy. And they still aren't.
Mine neither. I don't hate Mom Donnie for that.
No, when you become mayor of New York City, being mayor of New York City is a bigger deal than being governor of most states. And when you haven't had a job even working at Chipotle or the Old Navy or something, and you want to take over an economy larger than many, many countries, you got to have a little bit of work experience behind you to know what you're doing.
Just like you have all this experience as a radio talk show host.
That's right.
You got chops too as an actor and a media producer.
Who's an actor and media producer?
Mom Donnie.
I heard that the first time. I'm sorry. I didn't understand what you were saying. You think that's a joke?
I want to know all his.
What you say you're a machinist? I wouldn't. You know, the way you're sounding, I would not trust you to operate. Or I appreciate the call. I would not trust that guy to operate heavy machinery. He says he's a machinist. Would you? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marie from West Virginia.
Hey, West Virginia. What's on your mind?
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene displays all the characteristics of a malignant, covert narcissist.
Yes.
And I saw these. I saw these characteristics in her long before she turned on Trump and the MAGA movement.
Well, okay.
And you know, I've got a sister just like her. And I won't keep you, but for all your listeners, if you look up in Google and study covert narcissism a little bit, you'll see a whole variety of traits on the spectrum that many of these Democrats, most of these liberal Democrats, display the same.
Well, give me an example. When you say she's got these narcissistic characteristics, Marjorie Taylor Greene, give me some examples. What are you talking about? What does she do that we...
Well, it begins with the love bombing, which she did to Trump. But they see everybody as a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't really a MAGA person. She just saw something that she could gain in her own, progressing her own career, and she used Trump.
Yeah.
And she got on that bandwagon, but it's all for her own attention, her own money, whatever she can suck out of somebody, she does. And then what happens, when they don't garner, if you don't make them your God, if you don't put them on the pedestal, which they actually require to get their narcissistic supply, then that's a narcissistic injury, and they're going to smear campaign you. And she's not done with Trump and the MAGA movement yet.
Oh, no.
It's only just begun.
No.
The smear campaigning is going to be, it's going to curl our teeth.
You know, I'll tell you, her personality, I think for the first, in that video she dropped yesterday, for the first time we really got to see her true personality. And she kind of reminds me, she has the same type of personality as Candace Owens.
Oh, absolutely. And they make themselves the victim. The covert narcissists are masters
Yes.
of flipping the script and making themselves the victim. And what really just infuriates me is for her to try to insinuate, actually, she downright accuses Trump of threatening her.
Yeah.
And I'm just so infuriated with that. And the problem with these people is they don't change. And, you know, I would like to write her a letter or do something, but,
No.
you know, they don't change. You can't do anything about it. The best thing you can do is ignore them.
Yeah.
Because that's what they want. They want attention, whether it's positive or negative attention.
Well, I would not be surprised if she becomes a permanent member of The View. That would not surprise me at all.
You hit it right on the nose. It's exactly what she's going to do. If not The View, MSNBC, or someplace like that. And that really is evident of how much of a non-MAGA person she was. Because even if she has a little argument with Trump or something like that, if she was true MAGA, she would have never changed her views to go over here to the people that she claimed that she couldn't stand.
Yeah.
And they're
you know, you make a good point. You know, somebody called me the other day, a listener called me, a liberal guy, and asked if I have any liberal friends, and I said no. And
I don't blame you.
and the reason I don't have liberal friends is because when you're friends, I do have one liberal person in my family, but you can't help that, you know. And by the way, it's the one person in the family that doesn't have a job. And it's not. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Well,
but the reason that I don't have liberal friends is, I'm not going to go through a list, but liberals have no morals. They support open borders, abortion, and things like this. I can't be friends with people that celebrate and support abortion. So, you know, I couldn't hang out at The View. I wouldn't be able to hang out there, or MSNBC, MS Now it's called, or CNN.
No, Marjorie Taylor Greene can hang out anywhere where she's getting narcissistic supply, which is attention.
Yes.
And that's where she's going to go. And this Trump derangement syndrome is really...
You know what I wonder? How long has she been fake MAGA?
Well, I think she was fake MAGA from the beginning because she was a narcissist when she got on the Trump train.
Well, that's what Laura Loomer says. Laura Loomer has been on to her for years. So, she may never have been MAGA. Yeah. Well, listen, you added a lot to the conversation. I appreciate your call.
Thank you for taking it.
All right, take care, man. I've got a sister that's got this problem. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Ricochet. How you doing?
Hey, Ricochet, what's up?
hear me?
I can, yeah. What's on your mind?
Okay.
Oh, no, we got disconnected. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Eric. I'm calling from Texas. I wanted to talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene story. I'm confused as to why anyone in MAGA would view what she's done as a betrayal. The substance of what she's gone against the president on is wanting the Epstein files released and also wanting the Republicans to have an alternative to the Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
So
well,
why is that a betrayal?
she's a betrayal. She's a traitor, not just because of her actions and words, but President Trump, who's the leader of our movement, said that she's a traitor who has betrayed him over petty things. Let me finish. He said that she betrayed him for two reasons. One, he wouldn't endorse her on these losing runs for governor or Senate, and he wouldn't take her call every day because he's busy running the world. And he said out of these petty things, she started acting out against him on television. As an example, she's out there calling Trump a supporter of pedophiles with the Epstein thing. And the files are being released. President Trump signed into law, making it federal law to release the Epstein files.
Okay, the White House fought that tooth and nail, getting that released. The House voted for it unanimously.
Because Trump told them to. Last Friday, hold on. Excuse me. President Trump said, excuse me. President Trump on Friday, you're not going to gaslight me or this audience. Friday, President Trump got off of.
Dude.
I haven't finished my sentence. So how do you know I'm lying if I haven't finished my thought? President Trump got off of Air Force One Friday last week and told the Republicans in Congress to pass a bill for him to sign, making it a law to release all the Epstein files. They did it by Tuesday, and he signed it. It is how it happened.
I'm sorry, you are lying.
No, I'm not.
You're just not a discharge position. We get that on the floor. Mike Johnson would not have put that on the floor without the discharge position. The White House fought that tooth and nail, and at the last second,
and President Trump signed it into law. They signed it into President Trump signed it into law. How do you force the president to sign a bill into law?
Well, let me respond to that, because he had two options there. Either he signs it or he can veto it, and there's a veto-proof majority in Congress.
No, or he could leave it on his desk and not sign it or veto it.
That's not true. After 10 days, it becomes law.
No, it doesn't. Not without his. No, it doesn't. If the president, where did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
That's the equivalent to a veto after 10 days.
No, if a president, if a president doesn't sign it,
do you understand?
You're on hold. If a president does not sign a bill and leaves it on his desk, it does not become law in 10 days. I don't know where you went to school, but that's not how it works. You know what liberals have become are just gaslighters. They really have become gaslighters, haven't they? Trying to tell us that what gaslighting is. It took me a long time to understand gaslighting, by the way. Even watching the movie Gaslight, where it comes from, it made it hard. There's two movies, actually, Gaslight. I've seen them both. Gaslighting is when someone tells you something is true even when you can see that it's not. As an example, this thing where Trump came out Friday, told Congress to vote. He's like, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Yes, it is. No, it's not. You're lying. He's gaslighting. Does that make sense? All right. If you're on hold, stand by. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, there we go. And let's see here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dallas.
All right, Dallas, Texas. What's on your mind?
I don't know what's the deal with that Epstein thing. I think they're good at releasing the first date.
They're released now. President Trump signed the bill into law. They're released.
Wait a minute. Let me talk.
Oh.
Once you get to, because you see, Trump isn't those files on the pictures, on all kind of stuff.
Where are you calling from? Where you call? Wait. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Dallas, Texas, the hate city.
This is not a Texan accent. What kind of accent is this?
This is a Mexican.
Oh, a Mexican. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to listen to a Mexican tell me what's wrong with Trump.
I'm citizen. I'm not
Of what,
racist
Mexico?
like you.
You're a citizen of
I
Mexico?
was raised in Mexico. I was raised in Mexico.
Oh, my goodness.
But I was born here.
Oh, yeah, like El
But,
Chapo's
I'm
daughters were
here,
born in America,
wait a
too.
minute. Once if somebody talks about Trump, you get so defensive.
No,
You're
but
like him.
no, well,
Liar and racist.
Trump is
Take
lying.
that cap off and we'll burn it.
Burn my
If you
hat?
don't mind.
Burn my hat?
Yeah, that cap that you got in your head.
It says.
It matches your head, your brain.
Oh, well,
That's
thank you.
stupid.
Thank you. Make America great again. Thank you. Don't you want to make America great again? Oh, he hung up. Oh. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, it's Ricochet. Can you hear me now?
I can, Ricochet. What's up?
All right, thank you. Hey, two things on Marjorie, and then if I can make a statement on this Piggy, I'd like to. But anyway, with MTG, I see two things here. You know, one, was she possibly part of this 10-year coup plan, you know, to get really cozy with the president, gain a lot of fame and favor and everything, and then all of a sudden be activated to do the division and the divide and to throw cast of doubt on the MAGA party. And, of course, compensation for that would be, you know, hey, we're making you a millionaire with all these stock tips.
Yep.
Or, you know, the other option I see is she was compromised once she got caught with these insider trading issues. And now she's resigning because of that.
Well, that second, a lot of people, we don't, none of it, everything's speculation, but that second part you said, a lot of people think that they opened the books and got her in on this insider trading and they blackmailed her with it.
And I'm wondering if she's resigning now to make a deal to give everything over to, you know, what she's learned to kind of, get away from certain prosecution. Those are my two things. But if I could say something about Miss Piggy, or do you want me to wait till next Friday?
No. Bring that. What else do you got?
But I'm over 60. Trump's over 80. I still hear Miss Piggy, and I didn't hear it until you brought it up. But the reason is when I used to live on my grandmother's farm years ago, when me and my buddy get in a fight and one of us was screaming louder than the other, she would look at us and point at us and say, "Quiet, Piggy." And she would say it was akin to the pigs at the trough who's screaming the loudest for their slop. Just like that lady was, she kept interrupting the other reporter all of this time, and it was just an old person's phrase, "Quiet, Piggy," because you're interrupting it. I
hear Peggy. I've played it so many times. I hear Peggy every time, but you hear Piggy, I hear Peggy. Yeah. You say tomato, I say tomato. Can we all just get along?
It is, and it's really a non-issue.
By the way, if he called her Piggy, I wouldn't care, right?
No, I wouldn't either. I think it's kind of funny. I mean, he's always done that with people's names anyway, like new scum, etc. But I just know that that's an expression that older people have used, and that's why I probably hear it. Anyway, great show.
All right, Ricochet.
Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm coming with you with a whole load of turkeys right now. So get ready for Thanksgiving. I wish everybody a great holiday.
All right, take care. Yeah. If you're new to the program, make sure you follow and subscribe. My name's Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. We'll be right back. Hold on. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Brian Craig Show podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking mostly about the Marjorie Taylor Greene betrayal, and she really did us a good favor leaving now. And for those who think that, well, President Trump, he's the one betraying MAGA, anybody who says that is not MAGA. There's a lot of fake MAGA out there. And look at this. One of the things President Trump's doing, this dropped yesterday, huge story. Breaking news, Trump announces he's terminating temporary protective status for Somalis, it's hard for me to even say it, Somalis in Minnesota, effective immediately. I saw someone go to Minnesota the other day, make a YouTube video. Holy smokes, you would have thought it was Saudi Arabia or Iraq or Syria. This is great news. The numbers of illegals or people who have overstayed visas and such that are from Somalia and Minnesota must be through the roof. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? My name's Jesse from North Carolina.
Okay, Jesse, what's on your mind?
Hey, I had a question. What's that, Candace Owens talking about, some government official told her that the bullet was meant for her instead of Charlie?
I haven't heard her say that. If that's true, she wasn't in Utah that day, so if she said that, that's just a stupid comment. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, Brian? This is Don the Go.
Don, what's on your mind?
I'm just wondering why you had to be all racist to that Hispanic gentleman that was just trying to talk to you.
Racist?
You would talk to him. I'm listening to I'm not listening to no Mexican. That's what you said.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's talk about it, okay? I know. I'm glad. No, I'm gonna talk. No, I'm glad you called me out on it. Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay. Couple things. One, he hung up. I didn't hang up on him. I would have kept the conversation going. Number two, I'm not going to listen to someone from another country with a foreign accent tell us what we should be doing so far as our government goes.
He was from this country. He was.
I don't believe that. I don't believe him. I would have gotten
because he was Hispanic.
No, because he had not because he's Hispanic. That would be ridiculous. Marco Rubio's Hispanic.
Mexican. The word you used was I'm not listening to no
He said he was Mexican. I said, what kind of accent? I said, where are you calling from? He said, Dallas.
I'm not listening to no Mexican.
Tell me about our president and our government.
Your words were, I'm not listening to no Mexican.
Tell us about our president and our government.
The president's a pedo. He's a child pageant rapist, and you defend him left and right, bro.
Okay, I am not going to listen to foreigners. I don't care if they're Mexican. I don't care if they're Swedish. Tell me who our leaders should be in this country.
You have no right. Americans with foreign accents don't have a right to talk about who our leaders should be.
They have sure, it's America, and the First Amendment applies to everyone inside our borders, but I'm not required to listen to it or give a platform to foreigners bashing our president.
American, Trump's calling for killing people that are saying that the military should follow our Constitution.
Who's killing people? What? I didn't understand what you said. Who's killing people?
Trump just said that people that are speaking against the military, doing things that go against the Constitution should be killed.
No, he didn't say that.
Yeah, he just said
No, he didn't say that. No, he didn't.
What did he say?
Well, you're the one trying to quote him, so you tell me. He didn't say what you said.
Well, I just did. I just did tell you.
That is wrong.
He said no, he didn't.
What he gave out was gave out what the maximum penalty is for those who commit sedition and treason.
I didn't say he killed people. I said he suggested that Americans, Democrats in particular. Okay, go ahead.
No, he didn't say that either.
Hold on, let me turn your channel up because you're interrupting yourself.
I'm not interrupting myself. You're just the voices in your head are interrupting the conversation. Thank you for your call. Oh my goodness. You know, it's an amazing thing. You know, when the internet was new, we thought that what would happen with the internet is that people would be more informed. And it seems to me people are less informed, doesn't it? In many ways, certainly on the left. Now, if you would like to support my content, become a Patreon supporter. If you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to a whole bunch of stuff, including commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes. My wife and I both post a lot of material and things to the Patreon page we post nowhere else. And I also do live streams on Patreon that are only for Patreon supporters. The live stream is actually on the Patreon platform itself. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you get access to that. And those live streams on Patreon are troll-free zones, okay? Number two, it's a little more intimate, right? So I talk about some things I don't talk about here. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. So you get access to all that and more if you become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description of the episode on whatever platform you're listening on. That'll take you to my Patreon page, or you can go to patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show, patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. If you become a top Patreon supporter, you get your name up on the screen on YouTube, and you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. So the names you will hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SFjr, Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, and Irene. These are my top Patreon supporters. Thank you all. Now, so far as the guy from Dallas, the Mexican from Dallas that hung up, when he called in, he said whatever his name was from Dallas. And then when he started talking with the accent, I asked him again, where are you calling from? He said, Dallas, Texas. I said, this is not a Texan accent. What kind of accent is this? And he said, Mexican. Now, here in South Florida, where I'm at, we have a large Cuban population, as you know, right? And a lot of times, Cuban Americans that have an accent that's not American, if you ask them what their accent is, you know what they tell you? A Miami accent. Not a Cuban accent, Miami accent. The guy's Mexican. He's not American. He didn't say it was a Tex-Mex accent. He said it was a Mexican accent. And then he tried to tell me that he was from the United States, not Mexican, after he told me he had a Mexican accent and he's Mexican. And I would have continued the conversation if he had not hung up, and we would have gotten to the bottom of all that. But I'm not going to sit around and listen to people from other countries tell us who our leaders should be and what our elected leaders should be doing. In fact, one thing that a lot of people in the MAGA movement have started to talk about, even, by the way, Nikki Haley's son was talking about this to Tucker Carlson the other day, is that naturalized U.S. citizens should not be allowed to hold public office. I agree with that. A big bunch of the problems we got going on in this country right now is simply because we have too many not natural-born citizens. I'm sorry, that naturalized citizens should not be able to hold public office. And one of the biggest problems we have are naturalized citizens like Ilhan Omar and Mamdani holding public office, bringing the third world to America and trying to destroy our civilization. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. It's being talked about more and more. You know, all right, let's take a call or two. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Ben, calling from Illinois.
Ben in Illinois. What's on your mind?
So I'm responding to one of the previous calls. They brought up Trump's post about seditious behavior punishable by death.
No, they didn't bring up a post. That's not what they said. They said that the president said, which, by the way, he didn't voice anything on it. He put a post on True Social, and even on True Social,
right.
He didn't post what the caller said.
Okay, so that's fine. I'm not necessarily defending the caller. I'm just bringing up what the caller had what the topic was about.
No, I know
So
what the
Trump
topic was
Bush
about.
there-
I know what and everybody listening knew.
Hold on, wait. All right, so I'm calling in. I'm trying to get my question now. Be patient. So he posted on Truth Social, seditious behavior punishable by death.
That is
Do you
correct.
feel like that is appropriate rhetoric for the President of the United States?
Why not? Why isn't it? Of course. That's the maximum penalty for treason and sedition, is it not?
Okay, but what treason was being committed in which that would prompt?
Remember, U.S. citizens encouraging the military to rise up against the commander-in-chief and their superiors, which is what those Congress people did.
Yes. I don't necessarily see it that way.
Well, you don't see reality. You know, what they were talking about, they were talking the National Guard troops being ordered into American cities to fight these Democrat criminals and run them off.
Okay. So elected officials were suggesting that you can refuse illegal orders. Do you think it's appropriate for elected officials to encourage service members to resist illegal orders? Yes or no?
That's not what they were doing.
That is what they were doing.
No, you have to, it's not just someone's words, it's the intent behind those words. And excuse me,
about Trump. It's not just
you could say it, but you would be wrong. You could say it about Trump, but you would be wrong.
No, man. Like, you're such a fucking dumb bootlicker with your...
Okay, well, that's nice. I guess the intellectual part of the conversation, he decided he just couldn't continue. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Josh from Arizona. How you doing, Brian?
All right, Josh.
Hey, listen, do you brush your teeth with feces?
Yes, every morning. Yes. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, same guy, man. I don't know how we
No,
got
it's
this
one.
connected,
I hung
but-
up on you. It's one call per show. All right. Call me on the next show. You're welcome. You can call every show if you want, but it's one call per show. Everyone. See, with the Congress people, I was talking about this in detail on my program yesterday morning. That has the Congress people and the thumbnail with the president. And the thumbnail says treason and sedition. Go and watch that show when you're done listening to this podcast. I go into incredible detail on what's going on here. There was 2 days ago, there was an article in Breitbart, which has been reported in multiple sources since, that the Bush family are planning a comeback to take back control of the Republican Party after Trump's second term. There is this video put out by the Congress people is it's a psyop put out by the deep state. And there's a big psyop that's going on. This operation, this Bring Back Bush operation that the deep state and the political establishment of both parties are running, started with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That was the first action in this operation, right? Another part of the operation was Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes trying to destroy Turning Point USA and soil our movement with this idiot Nick Fuentes. Everything going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene is part of that operation. And on yesterday morning's live stream, I go into great detail on all of this with other examples on what's going on here. So make sure you go and watch that. If you're new to my program, make sure you follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to me on, all right? The Brian Craig Show podcast is available on all podcast platforms, okay? And just go to them and search for The Brian Craig Show. And if you want to catch the video version and live, of course, on YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. All right, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you next time.